Hi, welcome to Fat Girl Fitness. So we're running a little late. We had some technical difficulties with Periscope again, but we're gonna figure this shit out. So just, stay tuned. We will be dialed into Periscope. But anyway, we are here with our special guest, Tracy Gardner.
Yeah.
From Rebel Girl. I'm Lauren, and this is Steph.
Hi.
And we are Fat Girl Fitness. And FAT, the first part of it, is PHTT, and it stands for Psychology, Health, Attitude, Training, and Transformation. Transformation. The hand gestures in there.
Yeah, and Fat Girl Fitness is really about showing you how to transform your body from your mind. And we use the acronym FAT. It's a double meaning too, because we talk about what it's about to actually do things like eat fat. Most people say you could never eat fat. So we break a lot of paradigms through our videos, which I'm sure you're gonna see throughout this video as well. So.
And a big component to our brand is the psychology piece and the mindset training and shifting. We both have, I have a background in psychology and holistic nutrition, and Steph has mindset training.
Background in training as well.
So we just go a layer deeper and really try to rewire things. So whatever results you do have are permanent, sustainable too.
Yeah, we're not into it for a quick fix. We're in it for life. We want you to have a lifetime of health, not just something fast for the weekend. You can have something for the weekend too, though.
Yes, of course. So we're really excited to talk to Tracy today about body image. We have like so many talks just, overwide about this in general, and every time we get together. So I'm like really excited to just talk about this. And so where does just talk about you and your interest in body image?
It's been a long-stemming interest. I have a pretty big passion about fitness. I am in front of the camera a lot, and I live in Orange County, and it has its own culture. But I'm very passionate about all the things that these ladies just discussed, especially in terms of kind of starting with your mindset and starting with habits and actions. And for me, the only time I've ever had real change has been through that kind of, format. So that's kind of my mindset and my background with that. So
nice.
Awesome. So it's mainly you're getting into the mind and not so much just workouts and nutrition.
Yeah, because I've had those stubborn years where I look back and I couldn't have that breakthrough of finally looking how I wanted until I changed all of my habits, until I had all the right people around me.
Right.
And we encouraged each other, like people like you girls. Some of the conversations we had were, and just being around like positivity and treating everything you do like it matters in a certain way, it changes everything. So not just working out to look like someone you see on Instagram, but really changing my lifestyle to like how I feel and look.
Absolutely.
Changed everything for me. So.
And we just did a post in our private Facebook group, the Fit Family Facebook group, and we talked about that, about how when you change one component of your life, then everything else kind of can dial in. If things didn't really start to change for me in terms of the health and the body that I wanted, when I had certain friends around that weren't completely serving me. So it's just about everything changing, the mindset, the people you hang out with. People are energy. So it's really important to surround yourself with the best type of energy. It's how you nourish your soul. So there's these different ways to nourish yourself. Food is one of them. But, you nourish yourself through energy with friends. You nourish yourself through, like if you have some type of spiritual practice, reading, self-development. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, another thing, I don't know, Tracy, if Lauren told you much about it, but we just decided that we were each going to lose like 5 to 15 pounds. We wanted to just shed some extra weight, feel a little better in our bodies. We noticed that we got a little bit off track temporarily. So we decided to join forces and put together both of our knowledge on just how to do that, losing the last extra stubborn weight. And in that, we were just I feel like it all ties in with everything we're talking about, because it's teaming up got us to this place where magic is happening. It feels like pure magic, like you're talking about. Is that how you felt when you were really reaching your goals? Was oh my gosh, it's been in here all along?
Yeah, well, it's like Lauren was saying, all the steps kind of fall in line when you just kind of when you learn to, I guess, synchronize everything.
Yeah.
And one of the big struggles for me is like the just because you see these people and you see a certain body, which you can use for inspiration, but when you set little goals like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and you just make little steps to do that, that for me was when I started to kind of see a snowball effect of everything coming into place, like skin issues clearing up, you know, losing weight a little bit faster, getting tone in places I wanted to get toned. That all started to happen when I had small goals and I started achieving those. And eating better, definitely, like you said, I mean, we like to eat, and that's a big part of it. That's a big part of every time we hang out. But it's learning like when to cheat and not depriving myself, but just learning like portion control and like little things. And
Yeah, we are not about deprivation. And we were talking about, Steph and I, it's like when we got together and kind of like teamed up and held each other accountable, but also encouraged each other,
Right.
it became so much easier. And I think like as women, because that's my experience as women, that it, you know, it's usually, I don't know, either in your head like comparing yourself to other people, feeling like you're judged, or just, you know, coming from, or people, you know, that are maybe in a different place in their life actually judging you.
Right.
And so I try to surround myself with really supportive, amazing women, and that always, you know, makes everything better in my life.
definitely.
Well, Lauren, for you, what was your growing up? How was your body image?
I think it was pretty shitty. Like, oh yeah, I mean, it was. I just always felt like I should be a different way, just constantly. And then, you know, I grew up dancing and being a baton twirler, like a soloist, mind you. And so, but the attention, you know, was on you. So I didn't feel completely comfortable in my body. And then just other kind of things, in terms of, you know, how I looked, or, you know, and other comments that women or girls that, I'm talking about like high school years, would make about my body. Like, I got made fun of. Okay, if anyone knows me, knows I complain about this all the time. So, but I'm gonna say it again. I got made fun of all the time because of my butt. And now bitches are paying a bunch of money to have like an ad. I can't get over it. Like, I would be constantly made fun of for that. So it's kind of like, like really letting that go and just having like healing around that, and going out of my way to be supportive with everyone, and like especially women. And I was telling Steph, like, I not purposely, but my intention is to, when I'm out in the world, to give someone like an authentic compliment about their appearance, like look them in the eye and give them a genuine compliment, whatever it may be. And it's so interesting to see like someone's energy shift when I do that. It makes me feel good. I can see them brighten up. So it's just one thing I kind of practice every day.
Yeah, I think that there's a huge underestimation of that. Like today, I was in Marshall's and there was a guy who was, you know, doing the checkout counter, and I asked him how his day was, and he said, hopefully it'll start getting better. And I just made like a passing comment where I said, it's gonna get a lot better. And to me that felt like just some little like whatever, but as you said, like his face lit up and he was kind of like, okay, yeah, it can get better. We forget that we can give ourselves permission to feel however we want, and sometimes it just takes that little voice of someone else to really like kick you up a notch and make you like just elevated to another level. So I think that's really powerful.
Absolutely. Oh, if you guys have questions, you could go ahead and write them in the comments and we'll answer them.
Yeah, we have a special comment reader behind the camera, so if you hear a man voice, that's going to be your comment. And we want to hear lots. Bring them all in. Tell us your story about body image and everything. Mine from childhood, really, yeah, it's not far off. You know, I really, really beat myself up. And I could say probably until a good 2 years ago, that was how long I've been in my head.
Right.
People who know me really well would always say, Steph's such a positive person, but that's like me speaking. And it's totally a different disconnect from the words you speak to the words that you think.
Yeah.
And I thought some really terrible stuff about myself constantly. Super hard on myself. And I look back knowing what I know now, and I realized that if I had just known the power of my thoughts and my words, I would have lived a completely different, happier lifestyle.
But you do now.
But I do now. And that's the journey I got to have, because it's really created the reason why I do what I do, because I understand somebody who feels that way. Because I've been there for so many years, and I get to share the best gift in the world. It's really cool. So,
what about you, Tracy? Like in your journey with body image?
I felt similarly. I grew up very insecure, not very confident in what I did, and not confident in my words. Very similar thoughts. Kept to myself a lot, and kind of had a struggle with body image. I played sports a lot, and that was always kind of hard because I've always been short. And one of the things I've had to really learn is to be realistic. This is my body, I have to live in it, and then I have to love it. So treating it well and just doing everything I can to kind of embody who I am really changed when I got a little bit older and realized that was important. So yeah, same. I kind of had the same journey. And another thing for me was also kind of taking ownership of my own look. That to me I think is really important. When I learned to kind of have my own style and have my fun little signatures, that really changed how I saw myself, because it was a little bit of ownership, and everyone has that in a different way. For me, it's the way I style my hair, do my eyeliner. For some people it's tattoos. For other people it's just anything that helps you feel more at home in your body. To me, I'm go for it, because that's when I really started to feel who I am. And I always swear by that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I have a few things like that they make me feel good and grounded in my body, and I own it. I love when my eyelashes are on fleek. I really like when I get to wear heels, and I'll just be I just own it. And there's certain areas that I lived in, especially in San Francisco, where people don't wear them as often, and I'm no bitch, I'm wearing my heels.
Yeah.
So there's just certain things that do make me feel good, or even certain colors. I'm really connected to color. Depending on what I'm going through, so yeah,
I think it's something that powerful women swear by too. I've kind of always heard it. There are people who I aspire to be and I listen to what they talk about and what they say, and that's kind of a reoccurring theme, that they choose one thing that's a signature, and it helps propel you into taking more ownership. And for me, that also helped me make better decisions and care about my body and how I portray myself.
In what way? Did you see the improvement?
Yeah, it gave me a little bit more confidence, and the confidence helped me kind of get up and do things that helped me, it helped me stay on my workouts every day. It helped me eat better, because sometimes I think a lot of people can relate to this, but your stress and the way you feel about yourself can almost demotivate you in a lot of ways.
For sure.
Yeah, it makes it hard to get out of bed and work out. It makes it hard to eat well, because you fall into patterns when you don't feel good about yourself, and that's a hard pattern to break out of. So even the littlest things that can help you break out of that, I think, are powerful.
I really love that. And what I like is that taking your image, or you're having your signature things, is basically being in your power, but it also is a form of self-care.
Yeah, if it means taking a selfie, people talk shit on that, but I'm sorry, people talk badly on that, but I love it. I love when I see people taking selfies and progressively getting more confident in them, and showing off outfits. Or I think there's a lot of power in that, and it's kind of our generation's way of holding themselves accountable, and I really like that. So if you're maybe not feeling great about yourself, take a selfie.
And I love your selfies.
Post it, get compliments. Why
Tracy's got good selfies.
Her selfie game is strong. It is super strong, and it's not the same it's whatever mood she's in, and sometimes they're more racy, or just or use or snarky, or whatever. But I love that there's so much personality and authenticity radiating through them. I really, really enjoy your selfies.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure the people who are watching are really curious how they can look at your selfies. So what's the best selfie source for you?
Probably Instagram. Yeah, feminist nerd.
Okay, cool. What you guys were talking about really brought up a thought in me, and it was recently I had one of my friends, she's a business owner, an entrepreneur, and she hadn't quite branded herself, and we were talking about what she likes, and she seemed to struggle with it a little bit. So I said, okay, we're going to do this really fun field trip. Let's go to all the different interior design stores, and we're just going to walk around, and you pick out the things that you love. And so we did it. It was so much fun. And by the end of it, she had her phone full of just everything that was her. And she felt so good and so empowered. And I think a lot of times as women, we'll cover that up because we feel like we have to take care of other people, and that means, you know, considering their needs. So, you know, if you had, like, she was, I guess her fiance or her husband, he had picked out the couch because he liked the couch, you know, and he picked out this and he picked out that, and she just went along with it because she didn't have any other, you know, feeling to do anything else. But then through doing this exercise, she started realizing that she could infuse her house so much more with her,
Her
because
energy.
her energy, and it made me really happy to experience that. I thought it was really fun. And so anybody watching, if maybe you don't know what your like look or your feel or your vibe is, like just go on a field trip and just walk around and start picking out things that you love. Like not anybody else, just you know, like it's really fun. It's cool. And then it'll start to,
I think it could change and evolve as time goes by,
Definitely.
you know, so that's good too.
you can do multiple field trips.
The story with, you know, your friend and her husband, it kind of reminds, or, you know, we were going to talk about relationships
Yeah.
and how our body image is affected by relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Definitely.
you want to start, Tracy?
I can agree with that. I think that, like we already said, who you surround yourself with, but also, you know, your interactions with people are energy, and what you give is what you give back. So, I mean, it can go both ways. I feel like as women, sometimes when we feel powerless, we lash out, and I have seen people who have not the greatest body image. You know, maybe they lash out at other people, and what you say to other people and how you treat other people, especially your significant others, not only does it affect your energy, it can affect like your entire body image and affect your space and everything about you, but it's something to take note of and always keep track of. And just your interactions should always be as healthy as possible and as positive as possible, in my opinion. That's something I believe in, and I think it's a key to not only keeping in check with yourself, but making sure that you are in a relationship or an interaction that serves you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty strong question here from Amazing Allison.
Ooh.
And it runs right in line with body image. She was asking, what do you guys do or suggest doing to lift your spirits on those days when you're feeling less than stellar about your body image?
Oh, nice. That is
good
a powerful question.
Yeah.
For me, the thing I've been doing lately that's really helped is I have this list of affirmations, and I was never one of those people who was like crazy about affirmations until now, like until I started actually doing it, because it really, like, when you say it and you believe it, it becomes you, it becomes your attitude, it becomes your behaviors. I saw a quote that I loved that said, your thoughts become your words become your attitude becomes your behavior, and your behavior becomes your life.
True. Yeah.
So you're just pouring these positive thoughts in, and I just started writing things that at the time when I wrote them, I didn't feel like I believed them fully, but I just said them enough times that I did believe them. So now if I have a moment where I get pulled out of my good zone, I go right to that, I start reading it, and then I just go, oh yeah, this is true. This is the truth.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big mantra fan because they rewire your brain. Even if you on the conscious level don't completely believe it, just saying it over and over again. And then, you know, you might notice hours later that, you know, that did have an effect on you, or even days of just saying the same mantra. The other things that I like to do, I like to move my body in a way that feels good. So doing yoga, or maybe just going to the gym, being outside, doing something where I could just be completely in my body and enjoy myself is very healing and grounding for me. Also, you know, just kind of, a lot of times when I'm in that space, I personally say to myself, like, stop. You know, sometimes you just have to say, stop, you're being a brat. And we're back, little commercial break there. So the question was what we do when we're kind of not feeling our best. We wake up kind of feeling just, not our best, what we do to get out of that funk.
Yeah, so your answers are amazing. I agree with both of them. For me, like Lauren said, I find that just getting up, I know that a lot of people, part of their body image is depression, and I always kind of like to address that when I'm giving people advice. That can be a really hard cycle to break, and for me, one of the things that helps me is, one, just getting up and moving, like Lauren said, always feels good. Getting dressed, take a shower, just do something to get up. And I have hobbies, and I found that they've had a huge effect on my life. Like I paint, so I'll get up and I'll paint, I'll create something, I'll do something, I'll put something out in the universe, and that just instantly makes me feel better and kind of gets me out of a slump. It doesn't have to be something epic, it doesn't have to be something amazing,
Yeah, exactly.
just something where you're using your mind, or even reading, like Lauren said, read, like do something to kind of distract yourself and derail those thoughts. Both of the ladies had really good advice with mantras. I'm a big believer in those too, so there's a lot of things you can do. Everyone's different. Those are
I like that a lot because one of my clients that I'm working with right now, I asked her, you know, when she feels confident, but she said most of the time she does not feel confident.
Right.
She said there is one time, and she said it's when I'm singing. She said I feel alive and I feel beautiful.
Wow.
And I was like, that is your flow state.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's make sure that becomes your entire life. You feel like that through your whole life. But I love what you're saying because everybody has a thing that they do that puts them in flow, makes them feel beautiful.
Well, in creatives, sometimes we do have that tendency to be really introspective, which is really good because it makes us very empathetic. But empaths can be really, really bad at getting down on ourselves. We can fall into pitfalls really easily. And for me, I feel like I get out of that when I put things out there.
Yeah.
Whether it's through my words, like I'll call Lauren, we'll text each other. It's like putting something out and receiving back, like always helps for me, whether that's being creative, singing, music. I have a friend who dances.
Nice. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love all those. And then, great question. And then, so, yeah, thanks. And then before that, we were talking about how relationships, you know, affect body image or how they go together. And I love, like, exactly what you said, Tracy, because it's true. It's kind of like whatever energy or vibe you're at, you'll basically attract that.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been definitely like a direct correlation between how I felt about myself and physically and in other ways and the type of people I was attracting in my personal relationships and friendships. So, and in the moment, I think when I was in it, it was a little bit hard to see, and I felt like a victim in a lot of ways. And then after, you know, upon retrospect, I was just kind of like, that's where I was. You know, like people treat you, you teach people how to treat you. So, and that's what I was radiating, that's what I was vibrating, and that's what I was getting back. So, right, so now I'm very, very careful, like with my thoughts and what I say to myself, because what you say to your body says, yes, ma'am, and responds. So I'm very, very conscious and careful about what I say, which is where the mantras come in again. And yeah, just go from there. And if something is off, if I attract something weird or even just kind of like a negative, I'm like, okay, what did I do to create that or attract that, and try to, you know, recalibrate my energy. What about you, Steph?
Well, I was going to ask you really quick, do you feel like on certain days you attract different kinds of people depending on your mood? Or do you think it's like an overall how you feel most of the time is who you attract?
I definitely think it's both. You know, if something is going on, you know, it can, because energy feeds off of energy. I'm a big believer in that, just kind of like how that quote you said, like starts with a thought, then it goes into a feeling and a belief. So I think it both is true. Like generally, overall, I'm always trying to improve and do. But you know, if something happens, or if I allow something to bother me, then yeah, I can see how that shows up, or it affects other things, or something else like a similar situation will come in. So it's when that is happening, I just kind of, you know, push pause on that and recalibrate. That's what I call it. Recalibrate, kind of start vibrating big, again.
I like that, yeah. So for me, I think in terms of relationships, I really feel that a relationship is just a massive spotlight on your body image, your body issues, your body love, whatever it is. It's shined on.
Yeah.
Because that person is going to bring out everything in you. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. Like, across the board, it's all blah. So I've felt really grateful for the relationship that I've been in, because it's really offered me an opportunity to grow as a person so much. Because when we first started dating, I mean, I was still really fighting a lot of my self-love, self-worth issues. And I was constantly blaming it on him, you know? And that was the state that I was in, where I was just like, you're doing this, and you don't think I'm beautiful, and you don't think I'm this, and you don't think I'm great. And when you look back at it, you're like, he's constantly telling me I'm beautiful, he's constantly telling me I'm great. But like, I'm seeing only what my distorted mind wants to see.
Yeah.
So I feel like whatever that person is bringing out in you, and whatever they're bringing up, is that, yeah, it's that perfect mirror for you to just say, like, it's not them, it's me. If we can both be like super complimentary and whole in each other, like, boom, that's the best relationship. That's how I feel.
Yeah. And where would you guys say that your body image is now, currently?
Can we rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Sure. And it could be just for today or just in general.
Tracy? We keep throwing it over to Tracy. We put a hot seat in the middle.
I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like physically wise, I'm always trying to get to a better physical appearance. Real talk. I have an autoimmune disorder that I've been working against, and that's been a struggle because Lauren helps me out a lot and giving me good advice, but there's only certain foods I can eat, and I can't do very much high impact workout. So that's been kind of an adjustment. But I would say, like, overall, I would say like an 8 out of 10, only because I've found myself in the last 2 years in a state of massive productivity and constant like working and producing. And for me, that's been instrumental when I look at where I was, 3, 4, 5 years ago, where I just felt stagnant and like I was never creating, I was never moving forward, and I was never doing anything. And all I had were ideas in my head that weren't being, I guess, brought to fruition, and that caused a downward spiral. So then when I just woke up one day and decided I'm going to do this, this, and this, and started on a different path, that's when things got better, and I realized that I had a lot more potential in me than I thought. So I would say it's pretty good.
I didn't know that because I knew about autoimmune thing, but I didn't know that those things coincided. So basically, you had all this like stored energy in you that was starting to come out in autoimmune issues.
Yeah, and it was a lot. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this because it really impedes weight loss or impedes fitness or just like body image. But like, stress is awful and it's really hard. And learning to deal with, a full, like, I have a full-time schedule in graduate school. So sometimes I just sit down, and like you said, you recalibrate. I sit down and I think, okay, what's actually stressing me out? Is it that I'm procrastinating and I'm not time managing and I'm not using my time to the best of my ability? Am I needlessly stressing out? I'll take a break from writing and go to the gym for an hour. I'll get up and I'll move. I'll be really conscious about what I eat when I'm stressed out, and it makes all the difference. Like, I really talk myself out of bad behaviors now, and it's in the last 2 years been life-changing. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's a good time.
You're rocking it.
What about you, Steph?
So I would say I definitely have the most confidence and self-love that I've ever had in my life. Like, I was super hard on myself, and I look back and I just think about like just the words that I would say, and like I wasn't like name calling myself or anything, but I was just really limiting myself, and yeah, it's kind of crazy to just think back on, but I feel like really, really great, and I for sure have one moment, like where I'm at a 1 of self-confidence. And I could say that might pop up 2-3 times a day, maybe more, maybe less, just depending on how the day is and what's happening. But the difference now is that I know the real truth, and I know how to move through it. Where I like see it, I go, oh, that's there, that thing, okay, that can go because that's not real anymore. And in the past, it would have been like one of those things came up, somebody was around me and I felt judged by them, and the whole day, week, month could be ruined.
Yeah.
So big difference.
I love it.
What about you?
I think for me, we're definitely in the same space, which is why I think we, are doing so much work together right now, because I definitely, I'm feeling like the best I've ever felt about myself, especially in the last like several months. And along with what you're saying, it was so interesting because in the last several months, especially, I stopped giving my energy to things that weren't serving me. And then I'm just so productive. I'm like, damn, I'm productive. And so, and like all of a sudden, all the stuff that we're creating, and like just like even like with the weight loss goals between us, but I was telling stuff that me shooting a photo shoot with a bathing suit on, that was like going to happen the day after never. And like I could not believe, like, I mean, I was
Day
just,
after never.
yeah, and I still got anxious about it. Like I was like the night before I was anxious, and then I woke up and I was like bloated, my stomach's all distended, and I was just like, you know what, no, I'm still doing this, I'm not letting, because like literally my mind was like trying to like think of excuses to not do that photo shoot, like, and I was just, it was only because of Steph's support and like that energy, that kind of synergy that we had. But I mean, just like things like that, I'm like, I would never ever do that, just because I'd be too like, critical. So I don't rate myself right now a 9 out of 10, because I still have, there's some criticism that's still in there a little bit, but it doesn't like shoot down that much anymore, and I could just immediately like boom, like recalibrate it and go back up, and just say something positive to myself. It'll either be kind of funny, or it'll be like a really kind of like spiritual mantra. But yeah.
The other thing I really like to do too is, and I got this from Josh, my fiance, is think of myself as a little kid version of me, and then I go from some mean thing I might say to my 29-year-old self. Then I take it down to my 3-year-old self, and I go, oh, that was so cute. Like, I can't believe you did that. That's adorable. And then it like changes. You feel really different about it when you look at yourself as like your kid version of you.
Yes. Love inner child work. It's very powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This the whole discussion I feel like is just amazing. I'm so grateful for both of you guys for just being like open, honest, authentic, and real about body image, because I think a lot of times when we talk about body image, we want to make ourselves look better than we might feel. And I just like I'm honoring you guys for like just being like, hey, guess what? Like I'm not 100% of the time feeling amazing. Because that's it, we're humans, and I think we forget that. We forget we're made flawed, and it's okay to mess up. It happens. So, do you guys have any more questions that you want to run by before we wrap it up?
I feel good. But, I love this, conversation, and thank you so much, Tracy, for making time.
It was really fun.
Yes.
I want to just say to everybody watching too, like if you have questions, please put them up now, because we'll for sure answer anything you've got. And then another thing that we're doing too is we have a private Facebook group called Fat Girl Fitness Family. It's like PH family, And we just put a special bonus video in there, and we're going to keep doing bonus stuff. So if you have more questions come up, just type them in there, and we'll be answering them anytime too. But yeah, so Tracy, everybody got to know you, they love you, they want to find out more about you. Can you give everybody the rundown on all your social media and your podcast?
So I work for MakingStars.net, and I have a feminist, very girl power centric nerd podcast. You can find me at most conventions, especially local. My podcast is Rebel Girl like Riot Girl, GRRL, and I'm Feminist Nerd on all social media, so yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well,
And do you want to run through your social media? Our social media is Fat Girl Fitness on Instagram. It's PHTT Girl Fitness.
CHATT.
ATT. Yeah, what she said. Sorry.
Yeah. And then mine, I'm at Steph Hendel. Lauren, you're
At Lauren Clayton Total Health. And then I have another one called The Scoop on Total Health. So whichever.
Because we're all over the internet.
We are.
We're scouring. And we'd love to interview anybody else that you might suggest too for a future special episode. So again, last and final thought is that the program Lauren and I mentioned in the beginning, it's called Blast the Last 5 to 15 pounds. And it's something we put together for ourselves in the first place. You know, we just wanted to feel better, get in a little better shape. And we loved it so much, and it was so magical that we said we have to share it with everybody. So we decided to make a program about it. So
Coming
stay
soon.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Lots of good stuff. Anyway, we're gonna go chow down because Fat Girl
Mama's
Fitness likes
hungry.
to eat.
Mama's hungry.
I'm hungry. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, go to the Facebook group. Sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.